U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, A-Par, and by BioSteel.
Welcome to the 2025 BioSteel University Cup on CBC. I'm Declan DeBarb, alongside Brianna Newell, as we get set to bring you U Sports quarterfinals between the Saskatchewan Huskies and the Queens Gaels. It's been a clean sweep of the OUA so far, and Saskatchewan is looking to play upsiders. They come in the top of Canada West. Queens, the 7th seed and the bronze medal winners of the OUA Queens Cup. As I already mentioned, clean sweep, including the upset, the big one. The University of Ottawa GG's the hosts, beating the University of New Brunswick Reds last night in overtime. Just taking a look down. And here is how both teams face off against each other. It's a strong season, the second best record in program history for the University of Saskatchewan, 23-5 in Brendan Cote's second season. Queens back to the national championships for the first time since 2018-19, but Ben Gibson not afraid of the season. Nolan Hutchinson, 2 goals in the bronze medal game between the University of Queens and the University of Toronto. Hutchinson, a very impressive season. Down at the other end, we have Chance Petruik, the starting left winger, 20 goals in Canada West. A very impressive player, and one that I think that we can all expect to have a fantastic game today. The scenes are set, and we're moments away from anthem here on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back on the CBC for U Sports action. We're underway here in the nation's capital. The puck dumped down and Queens fast in on the chase. I think we can expect a tough and rumble game here as University of Saskatchewan dumped that one out of their net, out of their zone, and it's back up to the point. Kinneberg looking forward to Ball, who got a stick on it. Jack Duff will chase it for an icing, and with that, we'll head into our starting goalie. Starting in net for Queens is Christian Purbu, the second-year player. 15 wins in 20 games for him, including a number of shutouts. An impressive shutout in the OUA Cup, in the Queens Cup, that booked Queens' first ticket here since 2018-19. That one to the point and dumped in by Peters. Looking cross ice. And dumped back in by Peters. Hosier has his stick lifted, but on the second opportunity, he's almost able to get it out, and that just in offside. With that, whistle will look down in the Saskatchewan net to Roddy Ross, a .928 save percentage in 14 games this season. Big part of the story leading the University of Saskatchewan to the top of Canada West.
I'm just going to jump right in there, too, and say Roddy Ross, what a wonderful name. It really rolls right off the tongue super well. Love
Wonderful
it.
name and a fantastic goalie as that one shot right into the Husky of Roddy Ross. Frozen up, and we'll have a face-off off to its right.
You know, these two teams, not in the same conference by any means, as we already know. And generally, when you have the first period between two teams, it's always a feeling out process. This is even more so when, again, Queens and Saskatchewan don't exactly regularly play against each other. So I imagine this feeling out process is going to take maybe a little bit longer than the first period.
And Brianna, you say that the one and only time these two teams met was in 1981, March 13th to be specific. Both teams opened their U Sports, or I should say CIS, Nationals Championship against each other. That one going back the other way, just behind was Zlamiski.
That was a really good back check there by Petruik, ending up getting his stick in behind. So,
Duff, he shoots, he scores! Looked like it was deflected on its way through, but Queens have opened the scoring.
and it does look like that it got deflected, as you see that at the front of the line going down the bench celebrating is Liam Tanner. And again, it came off that shot from the point by Jack Duff, and not a bullet by any means, but a perfect point shot. And we're going to take a look at how exactly this happened. A pass over to Duff, and it was right in there off the deflection. Excuse me, that was Duff, not Juff. Jack Duff.
Jack Duff has been around the block. One of the few players who was close, but not at the last time Queens made the U Cup National Championship. That time, textbook example of a tip shot that he shot on, and it was finished by Liam Tanner the first year. Tanner, 10 goals in the regular season. And out to center, blocked on its way through and settles down kindly across ice. Here's Cap. Twisting and going backwards is Liam Keller. And now out to center with Peters. It's deflected on its way through, and the Gaels will make a change. Just out of the reach, and here's Pillar. Josh Pillar will drop the puck, a shot on, and that the first test for Purbu that he deals with easily. Hosier blocked on its way through, down the ice. Roddy Ross will settle it down. Kinneberg up. That one lofted in the air. Both teams looking up, and it's settled on by Lemieux. New cross to Renwick. Renwick cross ice and down across, pinned against the boards. We talked about the physicality a little bit early on in this one, Brianna, but I think two things we can expect. Big boys out there for Saskatchewan. 5'9", the smallest player for the Huskies. That one down the ice for icing. We're going to take a look at the OUA bronze medal game. The Gaels booked their first ticket since, as we mentioned, 2018-19 in a dominant win over the University of Toronto. 4-0 the score, and they dominated the shots in that one. That one shot on and saved, hacked away from goal. Back down low. Katzele. Michaud looking out in front, couldn't connect with Holden Katzele. Keeler cross ice. Peltier shot on, and that one easy for Purbu.
And again, that's an easy stop for a goalie like Purbu. I mean, no bodies in front taking away any type of eyes from him, so very easy to corral, no rebound there. And we talked a little bit, you mentioned earlier, about the physicality and how there's a lot of big bodies on the Husky side. But what I want us to take mention of too is that on the Queen side, if you look at the sizes of the players, they are also not a small team by any means. They only have a couple players that are coming in really under 6 feet, but other than that, they're all big, abled bodies as well. So should be a really good battle between these couple of teams, especially as they feel each other out a little bit more and settle down into this game. The puck battles are going to be something to watch for sure.
Duff high off the glass, but too much on it. We'll head back the other way for icing. And Brianna, we were talking with Gaels head coach Brett Gibson before the game, and he mentioned that he wasn't afraid to face off against this very good Huskies team. Not afraid to engage in physicality, but looking to play a little bit through the middle of the ice and stretch them, outskill them were his words. And early on, they've taken the lead after a good net front battle.
Well, and again, he mentioned too that they are very different styles of play, very different teams. He didn't quite care who they ended up playing. The fact remained that they made it here, and that's really all that mattered. They would take whichever team they ended up facing against.
Peltier in there offside and forced to regroup. Here come the Gaels. We'll say that Liam Tanner, the goal scorer, missed his tip in, and we'll head all the way back down for icing in a stop-start first little bit of the game.
Yeah, hard to get momentum going when there's been these whistles to start off. You have a quick goal there against the Huskies, which I'm sure Roddy Ross would want back. But again, so much time, so much hockey to be played, and Queen so far, like you mentioned, doing a really good job of what head coach really wanted from the kickoff, is making sure that they expanded this team, made them skate, and then took advantage of the open ice as a result.
Jordan lays it off. Wong, really one of the players we're watching in this one, the top line center for the Huskies, shot on and bravely blocked. Wong, first one there, he'll try and send it down low. It hit a stick and Tanner's on it to loft it out to center. We've already seen one upset, no one seed left in the tournament. 3 OUA teams through, and really Saskatchewan representing the rest of Canada here. Drop to Jordan, who can't chip it past. Taking his man to the boards is Marburg. Back to the point, shot blocked on its way through. Wong, first one there, and continuing to battle is Marburg. Comes out and Cole Jordan rather, will pick it up. It finds its way back to Cole Jordan, who calmly chips it around the net, and Saskatchewan can get going the other way. Lasciovo drops it for Landon Kozior. Just looking cross ice and can't find his intended target. Daniel Michaud, dispossessed over the line, has a little help on its way, and the second opportunity, Michaud is able to chip it down low. Back to the point, stepping in and blocked. Good job of getting in shooting lanes. Have the Huskies been in a big takedown. Back to work go the Gaels. Michaud down low, cutting out in front, and Rodney Ross makes that look easy.
Yeah, it was good tracking there by Ross as he came across, and that was an absolute deck of a hit there by Landon Kozer in the corner. And again, bringing that physicality, trying to set the tone as we see that last opportunity by Queens Gaels. And as you mentioned, Ross just very calm in between the pipes with that stop, tracking that puck and holding on for that faceoff.
4 saves early on for Roddy Ross, as we'll redo the face-off. Officially yet to face a shot is Christian Purbu, but he's definitely faced one.
Yeah, he's had that one, and really it was right in the logo, right in the breadbasket, as we like to say, and very easy to go and corral it, and no rebound afforded.
Gavlas almost turned it over, picked it back up, and chipped it forwards. Miscommunication and a heavy finish to the check on Raphael Pelletier. Gathers a crowd, but will head right back down the ice.
Yeah, and I don't think Pelletier was a huge fan, thinking that came well after the whistle, but the Queens Gaels players, I don't even think heard the whistle, honestly.
Good traveling contingent of Husky fans, and you look across and compare it to the 2.5-hour trip that the Gaels faithful had to make. The Gaels faithful always travel in numbers. A little bit longer trip for the Huskies.
And Sask coming in with the boomers as well, the noisemakers, whatever synonym you want to use. They were prepared here for this trip.
And the big Husky down behind Ross's goal and behind Purbu, the beautiful Saskatchewan flag.
Love to see that. Nice.
Made dispossessed, trying to walk out front as it's reversed down low by Keeler. Duff all over his man, and he'll take a penalty. That one shot on up into the netting, and we'll see the best power play in the nation go to work.
Yeah, and that's going to be called every time. Pelletier doing a really good job down low, below the goal line in the Gale zone, protecting the puck against a big body of Duff, and Duff really getting his arm in around. And we've seen this throughout the game so far at U Cup, and yesterday and now today, where that's going to be called every time.
It's an easy call for the officials.
Absolutely.
Coming into the game, I think that a lot of us expected special teams to play a factor. The Gaels penalty kill, the second best in the nation, only bettered by the Saskatchewan Huskies. 90% for Saskatchewan on the penalty kill, 89.6% for the Gaels. But the Huskies power play reigns supreme, 31.6% that rose as high as the high 30s throughout the playoffs. It's a big part of their Canada West win over Mount Royal University, who departed us last night. A funny bounce off the boards, and it's fought to center. It's Lamasa. Pardon me. It's Lamasek. That one taken down, and it looks like we'll get an extended 5-on-3.
Well, and again, that type of call, the holding, anything to do with the stick, the officials, it's an easy call for them to make. It's so blatant as we're coming across through the zone, and the stick gets right in between. There was Lucas Perrick who's going to be called for this infraction. And I understand it. You're tracking the puck. You're already a player down. You want to just defend the middle of the ice, but it was a great play there.
Minute 37
yep, exactly.
of 5-on-3, and the best power play in the nation. You imagine it won't last very long.
Well, this is the last team you want to go and give a 5-on-4, let alone a 5-on-3 opportunity to. So huge kill here coming up for the Gaels.
Patrick and Cozier play catch, and Laschiavo at the back post can't find the finish. Play recycled and back to the point. One shot on, easy enough for Purbu.
Good puck retrieval there by the Huskies.
Working down low, that's Keeler. Keeler and Petruik exchange spots, and that one's in. All they needed was 35 seconds, and everything's tied up.
Yeah, all they needed apparently was a 5-on-3 opportunity, but that's what this is about. It's the special teams that play that role in these games here. When there's no series, it's just one game. And it was a great pass down low. Keeler with it, trying to find. Passing it back down low again, back up to the slot, and it was Dawson Holt who takes that one-timer unattended, left unsupervised, to put it in the back of the net behind Purbu.
Assister becomes receiver as Dawson Holt equals things up here in the nation's capital. 11 goals in Canada West this season. So that one's over the line, and a big check at the end. And that'll gather a crowd.
Of course, we'll have a skirmish there. And again, because the Huskies scored on that 5-on-3, they do still have a power play. So 5-on-4 for the next minute and 13 seconds. And we're just seeing that hit there. And not surprised to see that it was Jack Duff included in that sequence of events. Again, a big body, 4th year, no stranger to the physicality, and he's showing his presence here and putting his claim on this ice.
Kinneberg, he waits up. As we mentioned, a minute and now about 2 seconds of power play time for the Huskies to see if they can take the lead. Cross ice, down low, trying to cut out in front. And I think the Huskies thought that one went in. It had bobbled up, and Purbu was able to knock it aside. Gunnar Kinneberg has the drop pass, finds the drop pass, and here's the goal scorer. Dawson Holt across to Petruik, who's able to dodge a check, and Ruick ends up in his own bench. That one down the ice once again, and Landon Cozier will start again. Holt to Petruik, finds Keeler. Gage is in a physical battle that falls the way of the Huskies. No one on the same page as Kozer is forced backwards. Down low, Ross will settle it down as Herrick heads out of the box with back to even strength. And a spinning shot that bounced off a Gale, and now they come after weathering the storm. Now put the moves on down low, and an easy save for Ross.
Those really nice moves, though. I think it was Fowler with those silky mitts, and that's going to be a penalty every day as well. Got all numbers on that one.
It'll be Prefontaine who heads to the box to sit for 2 or less. Speak of Fowler, he was involved in that play. Finished the check on Prefontaine.
And always gets nervy with those types of situations where you're going and doing that battle as we see here, and you just turn to go back the other way, and Prefontaine again just on the wrong side of that, got the misstep and ended up hitting all numbers, and that's why he's headed to the box for that 2 minutes or less, giving Gaels the opportunity.
As we already mentioned, the best penalty kill in the nation. And over the line, a second opportunity that goes over the net. Dawson Holt again. He's been busy early on. Chipping forward is Nolan Hutchinson. 2 goals in the OUA bronze medal game that booked the Gaels ticket here. One sent down the length of the ice by Holt, and the Gaels will reset with 1:30 to go.
And already Huskies doing a phenomenal job on the PK, having killed almost this 40 seconds, and Gaels really haven't had an opportunity to penetrate the zone and get set up.
Katzele and Hutchinson connecting on a little give and go as that one's rung around the boards and sits kindly. Rung back around the boards, no yellow shirt in the vicinity. A good forecheck will hold the puck in the zone, if only momentarily. Lalonde, good patience cross ice. Tolnay, Lalonde, Katzele, cross ice! What a save by Ross, but on the second opportunity, hits in! Nolan Hutchinson. And we're tied once again in the nation's capital.
And you see here Nolan Hutchinson leading the celebration down the line as he was right on that doorstep to be the recipient of that rebound. Some really great puck movement and patience shown by the Gaels power play as the umbrella was set up and Lalonde was quarterbacking it to pass it to either flank, going cross ice for that shot. And again, Nolan Hutchinson putting it in the back of the net to take this lead and capitalize on the power play.
It was really well worked. It was a great initial save there by Ross, but it just snuck in behind him.
Well, and that's where, again, you have 5 players on the ice in front of you for a reason. One of them, well, 4 at the time, one of them has to go and clear that puck away from danger, help out your goaltender after making a phenomenal stop that Ross did.
Nolan Hutchinson, 20 goals on the season, including the ticket to get here. Back level, it's been an entertaining game of hockey so far. Do the Huskies have an answer? It was dispossessed, and here come the Gaels. Hamilton Chips it past Jordan and will continue after finishing his check on his way. Peters holds it in. Down low to Hamilton. Trying to push Ross in the net. And we'll have a whistle and face-off coming off to the right of Ross.
Oh, and there's some extracurriculars, and of course just asking, you know, how the week's been so far, how are they finding the ice, all, of course, very nice pleasantries.
Thank you for joining us here. It's 2-2 between the Gaels and the Huskies. We'll be right back on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Into the arena at TD Place. And Brianna, why don't you tell us a little bit what we're looking at now?
Well, you see Roddy Ross here completely barefoot, but with his stick just standing there, and now we see him in the net. I mean, every player has their ways of getting ready. And wow, this one for Roddy Ross, CW Goalie of the Year, led the CW in save percentage, goals against average. Just an absolutely phenomenal season here for Roddy Ross between the pipes for the Huskies.
An up and down season, didn't play too many games, yanked on his way to the Canada West title, but came back in against MRU and made the difference. That one's turned over. Petruikin trying to look cross ice, never found its way. The Gaels are able to settle things down and head back as here's Sam Marburg. Marburg has Hutchinson. Will chip forward and head after it. Takes a hit and tumbles down awkwardly. Happy to say the puck is still moving down there. Says the officials trying to cut out in front was Hutchinson, the goal scorer, and it's back with Marburg. Brings it around and Pierre Fontaine will collect and look forward once again. Loschiavo wasn't able to get a touch on it as the Gaels do. Will head right back down the ice for icing.
And obviously a very physical style between these two teams. We've seen a ton of big hits, and there were a couple hits that Parker Gavlis had thrown. One actually a little bit late on Marburg, but there was just such a battle there. You see the snow on both Marburg and Gavlis from their tussle a little bit beforehand. And just really great battles all over the ice between these two teams. Neither one of them really giving the other the edge in terms of the physicality.
Good work down low by Daniel Michaud. Back to the point, and Gaels work in the zone. Spinning shot, and it's held on by Ross, and Michaud's work will once again gather a crowd. A little bit more fire in this one than the game earlier today. If you missed it, Moncton fell, being the second AUS team to the Concordia Stingers, a score of 4-2.
There were a couple really solid hits in that game, though, too, especially on the Concordia side. I believe it was Innes threw some huge decked hits. Absolutely phenomenal. So, again, staking their claim there.
Not much of the extracurriculars, though, you could say in that one.
Yeah, they're pretty tame with each other. Yeah.
And East Coast friendliness as Derek Hamilton draws into the draw against Carter Stevens. And shot on and deflected aside by Ross out in front again. And quick reaction to find the puck that was sitting in his crease as Ross freezes it for a face-off with 8:02 to go.
Well, and it fell very kindly, actually, for Michaud. There was in front of the nets. But a good job by Ross, as you mentioned, jumping on it after tracking, making sure he held on for that face-off.
Veteran Gunnar Kinnenberg wasn't letting Michaud get his stick loose. Ross was able to pounce on that one. Kinneberg dodges a check and is able to move it to his defensive partner. Up off the boards and now picked up. Heavy collision. Gaels flip it back out to center with Katzele. Never found its way and spinning and sending it down is Ethan Larman. Peter's first one there is able to dodge a check, and a calm play moves it forwards. He pays for the patience on that play, is only able to get it down the ice as Cole Jordan will drop it down below. It's a one-man wrecking crew down there for the Gaels. Out in front, and a shot dragged just wide. Pillar and Jordan connecting. And a good move to avoid a check and start back to center. Here's Holt, the goal scorer for Saskatchewan. Got everything open, and got things going and tied up. Across, and now Pierrefontaine. Pillar stops and dumps that one in on Purbu. Let it play for Perrick. Perich. Back to Perich. Moves it forward. Tipped on its way and can't find Cousins. Cousins now off onside, and that one almost deflected into the back of the net. Holt dumps it down, will peel off for a change, and it went up into the netting.
That was a weird sequence there, as it really looked like the linesman was calling offside, but then afterwards ended up negating it.
A golden opportunity for the Gaels. It's been a rather open game so far in this one, Brianna.
It's been pretty open, but I also find that the Gaels have put a lot of pressure on the Huskies, almost have them on their back foot. They've definitely spent more time in the Huskies zone as opposed to the Huskies in the Gael zone. Even when the puck does end up in the Queen's zone, they're relatively quick at breaking it out. Not a lot of pressure that Saskatchewan is putting on them.
Duff steps forward and dumps that, and I think you're right. When things have been 5-on-5, it's been a lot of play dictated by the Gaels, a lot of it caused by turnovers like that one. The fire put out as it's picked back up and sent to center. A walk in and blocked on its way by the captain, Duff.
Yeah, good tracking there by Duff and making sure he took the body, had good gap control in order to allow for that breakup of play.
Berthollet, who was trying to walk in, is sent down by the Gaels, and time to reset for Logan Barrios. Take his time with that one. Watched all the way by Katzele. Cross ice by Wong, who blocks the first clearing opportunity, but on the second time, the Gaels turn it over to Cole Jordan. Katzele, left down by Michaud, who just can't corral it. Katzele, the loose puck, just played it in offside.
And, you know, it makes you wonder if it's a little bit of nerves on the side of the Huskies for why there's so many turnovers. But, you know, when you've had a successful season and you have the buy-in of the game plan with the coach and everything's clicking, you shouldn't really have necessarily those nerves, honestly. But again, as a player, you tend to during the first 20 as things get settled.
Love down and touched by the Huskies. Here's Pillar, who left the puck behind. Go down by Perich. Gets the protractor out. Into the middle. Going to turn. And now out in front, Ross with the first save. And then it's battled behind. Pillar. Gavlis. And now Prefontaine blocked on its way through, and Gavlis will settle things down.
Yeah, good patience shown there by Gavlis. Settle it down. Get your feet steady. Make intentional passes with the puck, because they've had a lot of turnovers during this first 20 minutes.
Purdue out to play it. Cousins takes a hit, but is able to clear the zone. Kozer, ball, space, a shot and a blocker save by Purdue.
Yeah, nice stop there by Purdue. Good job by Ball getting in there. Just if they could get some bodies in front of that to take away the eyes of Purdue, that's going to help out their cause a lot.
They cut to live. The Huskies trying to establish some cycle. Shot on by Kenneberg. And made its way through. Does a good job to show some muscle and hold the line, if only momentarily, before being forced back out. Kozer. One shot on, blocker to side. Peltier. Berthollet. Backhands it in. Peltier down low. Keeler. Peltier blocked on its way through, and here's Nolan Hutchinson. He'll take his time as his team completes a change. Here's Barrios. Dispossessed and just couldn't corral it was Tolnay. Peltier dragged down, centering pass, and a nice save by Purdue. That chance came out of nowhere.
Oh, wow, that was a big stop there by Purdue, and it originally came off the opportunity from Pelletier, and as you mentioned, it just squeaked over to the other side for a free Huskies player, as you see here, taken down, and from his knees, from sprawling out, he still managed to get the puck over to his teammate Berthollet for that opportunity on Purdue.
Face off to the left of Purdue. That's the biggest save he's had to make in this game.
Yeah, for sure. The Huskies haven't really tested him all that much, but again, it's due in large part to the fact that Queens have spent the majority of time in the Husky zone.
There's Wong. Centering pass, good save by Purdue, rebound loose, and picked up by the Gaels and fought out to center. And too much on it as Gavles goes back, touches it up, but back down the other way with 2:08 to go.
You know what, though? If I'm Queens, I'm taking that play anytime. There's a loose puck in front of your own net. Your goalie's over on the other side. There's a wide open net. You throw that puck wherever you want to get away. Good foot mobility here and edge work by Wong, putting it in front. And again, you see there the puck just chilling by itself. Good play by Queens to just knock it down, get it away from danger.
Wong wins a scramble draw. Prefontaine cross ice. Wong on it again and dispossessed. Centers. Davlis goes back, backhands it forward. Petruick. Peters took a deflection as Davlas makes sure it gets back across the ice and the Gaels can't get a change in. Prefontaine. Low by Hamilton up to Katzele. Gaels changing. Katzele a drag and a shot that was always going wide and a kind bounce for Roddy Ross as he freezes up. As you mentioned, Brianna, feeling out process that both of these two teams went throughout this period, but it's been a fast action-packed game of hockey. Both teams have put on a show.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've been treated to so much good hockey. Some would say yesterday, a lot of periods of hockey. And again, there's so many talented athletes.
Shot on loose in front, and no one could jump on that one. Duff sends it down low. The lone goal scorer for Saskatchewan, Holt picks it up and will attempt to go for a skate. Stopped up, looking cross ice, turns it over to Katzele. Michaud trying to work the angle, can't drag it out in front, picked up by a Gale. Wraparound opportunity didn't work out for Derek Hamilton. Back with Michaud. Good strength, a backhander. Ross spills it, and that one ends up in the corner. We're in the final minute of play here. Michaud trying to look out front. Stebbings. Keeler can't get it past Lalonde. Duff to an area and picked up. Parker Gavlis will settle down behind his net. Reinforcements coming. Prefontaine. Dumped down, and first one there is Peters. Coming together with the official. Prefontaine holds it in. Kicked aside by Purdue. Ball out-muscled. Going out to center with 10 seconds to go. And sent the length of the ice icing with 3:01 to go, and we'll see what Brendan Cote can draw up for his troops.
Well, again, always possible to get something done off the draw. We saw it in previous games. Some goals coming off of draws as well, as we just get a change in here. And again, as I mentioned, so many talented players on these teams that are here. As we're just taking a look at that last opportunity by Queens, Michaud just not able to get enough space to wrap it around.
Gaels win the draw, but not enough time to go back the other way. Brianna, great period either way. We saw the special teams for both of these teams come into effect. One goal for the Huskies on the power play.
Yeah, at this point, again, Queens definitely, I think, had the stronger period between the two teams that we saw. It could have been a feeling out process for the Huskies, but regardless, really putting the pressure on the Huskies zone. Majority of the time was spent there, majority of the quality opportunities. Huskies, what they need to change is they're only putting one forechecker on right now, and Queens is doing a really good job of converging towards the middle, supporting each other, so during puck battles, they're able to transition very quickly the other way, and Huskies aren't able to get that sustained zone time. So you need to, I think, honestly, change up their forecheck capabilities a little bit. Queens is doing a great job with their forecheck, making sure that they're putting two on at least and going down low, not giving Huskies time to break out.
It's been a great period of play, 40 more to go. After one, the Queens Gaels lead by a score of 2-1 over the Saskatchewan Huskies. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle.
Resilience. We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers. Professionals.
Olympians. When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her, be her.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC and our coverage of the 2025 University Cup. As things stand, the Queens Gaels lead the Saskatchewan Huskies by a score of 2-1. It's now time for our U Sports Champion Spotlight, brought to you by PepsiCo Foods Canada. Brianna.
For this U Sports Champion Spotlight, brought to you by PepsiCo Foods, Sarah Said sat down with Alan Zhang, former Ottawa GG and current Waterloo Warrior, for a chat about his career in the U Sports pool.
I'm with Alan Zhang, who's a swimmer for the Waterloo Warriors. Alan, I'm so excited to talk to you today. Can you start by describing yourself for us?
I'd say I'm a pretty quiet guy, like easygoing too.
How did you get into swimming in the first place?
I think my parents just put me in the sport. They said it's a basic life skill. I started pretty late compared to other people, around like 10 years old. I think it was my second swim meet when I was a kid. I remember qualifying for regionals.
You chose the University of Ottawa for your undergrad and you competed there. Why Ottawa?
It was close to home. I thought they were building something good, and I wanted to be a part of it.
What made you choose Waterloo to continue those studies?
In Canada, Waterloo was the only English optometry school, so didn't have too much of a choice there. But I'm really glad I'm here.
For people who don't know anything about competition, what exactly do you compete in?
I compete in the 50 free and the 100 free, like the short sprint events.
In terms of your studies, so optometry, why the eyes? What made you want to do that?
I remember when I was a kid, I have pretty low, I had trouble seeing things. Like when I was playing hockey or swimming, I couldn't really see much around me, what was going on. Then got my first pair of sports goggles. I look really weird, but it really helped me see things more clearly. So yeah, I just wanted to help other people, enjoy stuff around them, whether it's sports or just everyday life. If I didn't have swimming, I would be a completely different person. I don't think I'd be as organized or as dedicated or on top of things if I didn't have swimming. It's really important to set little goals, because I feel like if you shoot high from the beginning, that's really, I'd say, not ideal. So just setting small goals in a short amount of time, I feel like that's really important.
Coming to the end of your university career in swimming, where's your passion at? Where's the love for swimming at for you?
I think it's just competing. I really love competing and just racing the people beside me, being with my team, my teammates. Yeah, they're a good group of guys, and I'm just looking forward to U Sports.
At the University of Ottawa, we're open to people and cultures, to diversity, to open fields where minds run free, to possibility and discovery. We're open to changing times that force us to grow, and bold ideas that shape the status quo. We're open to balanced lives and spirits that thrive. But most of all, we're open to you.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Oh, aussi bon que Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, les Bag Baron Rings, APAR, and by BioSteel.
Welcome back in to TD Place, in the nation's capital. It's that time of year awards time. We've been featuring awards throughout the year, and now we'll take a look at our goalie of the year.
The nominees for the Goaltender of the Year in U Sports Men's Hockey are en nomination pour le prix du gardien de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2025, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Nathan Darvaux, Université de Moncton, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario from the OUA, Matt Anuska, University of Waterloo, Université de Waterloo, et de l'Association Ouest canadienne from Canada West, Roddy Ross, University of Saskatchewan, Université de la Saskatchewan. Le gardien de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport est, the 2025 U-Sports Goaltender of the Year is Matt Anuska, University of Waterloo, Université de Waterloo.
Congratulations to Matt Onusaka of the Waterloo Warriors. And now let's get into our Marriott highlights of the first period. It's been back and forth game. Both goalies tested early on as we take a look at the flurry of shots, but I think on the whole, it's been a big game for the Queens Gaels, who currently lead by a score of 2-1. Nolan Hutchinson has the difference. It's been a very physical game, something we'll get into in just a moment's time. It's been good work down low by the Gaels. And then it was penalty trouble, and that's the goal for the Huskies. Best power play in the nation. It's been touch and go, athleticism on both ends, and the acrobatic play from Peltier to generate the late opportunity for the Gaels. Pardon me, for the Huskies. We'll get into stats in just a moment, but that Nolan Hutchinson goal is the difference. And as I mentioned, 2-1 the score here. The Gaels trail in shots 15-10. They lead in goals. We expected special teams to be a big one. Both teams connecting so far, a perfect 1-for-1 for the Huskies. We've seen things boil over. And now we're going to talk about hits. Brianna, it's been a very physical game so far in this one. I think this is something that we can expect to continue going forward. Both teams going out, finishing their checks and making themselves known.
Yeah, and like you can see here, I mean, from both teams, you have a hit coming there from Derek Hamilton for Queens. Hard on the forecheck. And as well, you know, a lot of people thought that Saskatchewan was going to be the more physical of the two teams, considering the Western Conference historically known for that style of play. But it really is Queens coming out with their big, able bodies as well, stepping up to the physicality and throwing their own bodies around and making sure that they are not being taken advantage of out there on the ice. They're leveling the playing fields. And we're going to take a look after these highlights in terms of the players to watch on either side for Queens and for Saskatchewan Huskies.
As you say, Brianna, into our players of the game, and one of them has scored. Nolan Hutchinson is the difference here. His scramble out in front on the power play for the Gananoque, Quebec native. 20 goals this regular season is the big thing to look at. And Chance Petruic yet to make his mark on the score sheet, but has been in and around on some power play time, and I think that we can expect a much bigger period for the Huskies.
For sure, and again, you know, they've had a period to settle down. They've had a period to get their feet wet a little bit, but they've also had the opportunity to feel out Queens and see what adjustments they're maybe going to make coming into this second period. Long change in effect, and we mention it every time that there is the second period because it seems like teams still don't really figure out how to change maybe one at a time or even two at a time. They like to do full-scale changes, especially for the D. Big factor here to make sure that both of them are not changing at the same time to ensure they are not giving up those odd man rushes. But again, Saskatchewan really, I'm hoping to see a little bit of an adjustment in terms of their forecheck. Queens, though, played a pretty solid 20-minute period. So if I were them, I wouldn't necessarily go and adjust anything just yet. I'd wait back, continue playing our game, and see what Saskatchewan ends up doing. If I were the Queens Gaels, that's how I would do it.
And we can imagine some more penalties will be called. It's been rather sparing in terms of the box, just the 3 to speak of. But both teams, special teams, lighting up the league so far.
Well, I think a big factor in that, though, is that they've been pretty clean with their sticks so far. A lot of the penalties, the infractions we've seen over the games that we've seen so far is that it's a lot of stick infractions, and the officials are going to call that every single time because they're so blatant. They're going to let some of the body stuff go, except when it's that hit from behind or a really serious boarding call. They want to make sure the envelope isn't being pushed. But other than that, the officials have been pretty content to let the players play.
And that's been the standard set all weekend. We saw just one penalty in the game earlier today. Different reffing crew, obviously, but both teams, I think, looking to take advantage of the man down. There's still lots of hockey to be played here on the CBC as we get underway for our second period of action between the University of Saskatchewan Huskies and the Queen's University Gaels. Two storied programs as that one sent the length of the ice to start the period off in an anticlimactic way. And Brianna, we mentioned a little bit earlier on the lack of history between the two teams. As we said, both teams, only one meeting between the two, that back in 1981. A 5-4 victory for Saskatchewan at the Nationals in Moncton in 1981.
Well, and it's tough when you're playing against a team that you really haven't played against yourselves. You're relying on video. You're relying on just your game plan and making minor adjustments or perhaps major adjustments if needed. But other than that, it is very challenging as a player.
That was the first berth, Nationals berth for the Gaels. Ended up losing both of those and crashing out of that Nationals. Ball across ice. Big check thrown as it's dumped in. Purbu thought about going out, played it, and settled it down across by Owen Lalonde. Hutchinson gets a touch on it. Moves it forward. And Gavlis is pinned against the board. Stick lost and trying to bowl his way back to the bench. Nice move by the Huskies. They're in over the line, and couldn't find its purchase.
That was a nice stick check there by Purbu, recognizing that he was closer to the puck and wanted to get away from danger, so good job there.
Offside the call. It was Chance Petruic who was trying to bowl his way through the Gaels defense and make a introduction for himself. We've one of our 2 players to watch, Nolan Hutchinson, already introducing himself.
No, he's been all over the place, and again, trying to do what he can for his team there. And as we mentioned, Purbu on the ball with his stick, getting it out there, making sure he played his part in getting away from danger. And we have the linesman just having a conversation between the wingers here, making sure they are staying where they should.
Loschiavo and Larmond exchanging a couple of pleasantries, but we're underway here. Taking his time to get through center. That one looking for Loschiavo. It almost found its way to Wong, and a big hit. Larmond had his head down and was caught. Hits flying in this one early on. You got to keep your head up out there.
Well, and of course, it was none other than Gavlis again, who we've come to see is no stranger to the physicality, throwing a ton of hits already in the first 20 minutes, and that one was no exception. That was a huge monster hit.
On train tracks. That's the standard set early on. Over the line. That one blockered aside by Purbu. Thought about spinning and firing was Keeler. Decided to recycle play. Deflected by Keeler. Trying to spin, find a pass. Peltier steps into his man. Keeler back on it. Down low to Peltier, who fights and is able to create a little bit of space. Protractor out to get it back to the point. Held in, spinning, firing Keeler. Peltier. And couldn't reconnect. Larmond over the line, dumps in and peels off for a change. Couldn't connect with the pillar, it was behind him. Poke down low, Michaud. Cross behind the net, banked off by behind the net, Derek Hamilton. Trying to reconnect with Hamilton, and it'll find its way back to him. Fanned on the backhand. Down low hit, Hamilton trying to spin and fire. No, neither team really wanting to claim the puck until it's swatted back out to center. Icing waved off, both teams will complete a change.
Lemieux was going back for the puck there. It's almost like he lost his footing and slipped a little bit on the ice because it is slick out there as he was going back, but managed to pass it over and help with that breakout. Gunnar
Kinneberg pins his man to the boards. Can't clear the zone. He showed, couldn't pull the trigger. Showed reverse, down low to Katzele. Gaels showing good patience and trying to work the cycle here to begin the second period. Cross ice and turned over. That one trying to find Duffy. It only found Holt. Holt to Pillar. Holt continued to the net. Pillar stepped into. Tried to get the shot off. It looped up. Holt elbows it down. Takes a hit by Duffy, who's been involved in the rough stuff. Stebbings. Pass to no one, and here's Cap.
Oh, massive
Cousins
hit again.
has a man at the back post and couldn't connect with the pinching Owen Lalonde. Lalonde, Peters, too much on it. Holt pokes it forwards. Stebbings, Holt is pulled down. There's a power play coming. Centering pass, couldn't find its option, and then Purbu's bowled into, and that'll gather a crowd.
I wonder if we're going to see another penalty there, one from Huskies and one from Gaels, but for sure the Gaels are going to go off as they took down Holt on the way back when they were absolutely nowhere near the puck at all.
Ethan Peters had to stop Holt, who had skated away from him.
That is wild. It looks like they were just trying to gain the advantage there in terms of getting back and getting towards the net on Purbu, but it ends up being the Gaels that are going to go and take that penalty for interference, and it's Peters who's going to sit there for 2 minutes or less. And we saw Purbu get bowled into afterwards after that sequence, but he looks no worse for wear, so that's nice to see as the puck comes for a face-off to the right of him, and Gaels are going to have to do their best to kill off this PK again. Like we mentioned, a very strong power play coming from the Huskies.
Best power play in the nation. They win the draw and are set up. Petruic. A shot and a flash of the leather by Purbu.
Oh, Petruic probably thought, you know what, I'm going to to go and test this little angle here. I have some room. I'm going to go in. Maybe I go short side a little bit, but Purbu wasn't having it. And again, we mentioned the dangerous power play for the Huskies already being able to connect as we see that opportunity. It was a good shot, right idea. Why not test it? But again, Purbu square to it.
Not a pass to Spring. Hutchinson just out of his reach. Roddy Ross, the Canada West goalie of the year, out to handle it. It's back to center, and Lalonde will get Ross out of his net once more. Good movement by Kozer to buy a little bit of time. Here's Loschiavo. Keeler, cross ice. Keeler continued on his way. It found its way back to him. Duff steps into Keeler. Holt on it. Loschiavo. Kozer. Back to Petruik. Loschiavo. Backdoor! It's shown a goal on the ice. That one looked like it went off Holt's foot. And we're all tied up in the nation's capital.
And it is going to be Holt. He doesn't look very excited, but I think it's because there is going to be a review on this play to see if it was a motion that kicked it in or if it just simply deflected, as we're taking a look at the movement by the Huskies. Petruik over to Loschivovic and just directed it, but didn't quite catch to see if there was motion, and it looks like we're going to have the face-off, so.
Just waiting for official confirmation. Yeah. He definitely moved his foot, but it didn't look like it was in a distinct kicking motion.
Exactly,
and
that's the
official wording
yes.
of the rule. We're
exactly.
just having a brief delay here, but as things stand, Dawson Holt 2 goals on the day.
I think that was the most calm I've ever seen someone celly after a goal, honestly. Holt didn't even look excited for it, but again, we're going to wait on the official call as we're hanging around here. The officials having a word.
A call has been made from the box. Holt, yeah, he muted celebrations, I think is
very
the way to put it. But, you know, Dawson Holt been here, done that.
We got the
and it's a
call.
good goal on the ice.
Now we're going to take another look just to see this here great puck movement. It just goes to show what happens when it goes towards the net. And you see Holt lift his foot, but there was no kicking motion, it seemed. That's why the call on the ice stands for it to be a good goal. And we have ourselves a tie game.
Here's Katzele. Walk around a shot that was a little too fine. Peters, who was serving the minor at the power play goal, came on. So both goals for the Huskies coming via the power play. Special teams doing the job here tonight. Rifontaine. Forward and over the line of the Huskies. That one behind, and back comes Castellet. Jordan brings it around, and time and space for Ethan Renier. Haven't said his name too many times. That a shot, and a little too fine. Jordan a shot blocked. Wong just out of his reach. Hutchinson high off the boards, a bouncing pass that's dealt with, but picked up now by the Gaels. Tolnay dumps it in. Wong is there to pick up the loose puck and start back to center. Forward looking for Loschiavo. It falls to Petruik. Cross to Wong, couldn't corral it. Hutchinson, it's one man with him, will dump it, lose an edge. Kinneberg pinned to the, crushed to the boards. Marburg had his eye on the body and not the puck. Centering pass, it's in the padding. Whistle not gone yet. A group will form in front of Ross. He makes the save.
Well, and you imagine that anytime there is a loose puck in front of either net, the respective team is going to make sure that no one touches their goaltender. As we see the play here, just thrown towards the net. Ross a little bit slower to go and get his trapper on there, and the Gaels just waiting on the doorstep. It was Larman to see if there was an opportunity to knock that loose puck home. Huskies, though, did a really great job boxing out, allowing Ross the opportunity to put the trapper on.
And Brianna, the Gaels have done such a good job of working the puck down low and out in front. It's been one of their strengths so far in this one and causing problems for the Huskies.
Well, again, this is what we talked about even earlier before we went to break after the first period, is that Queens has done a very good job, and they've continued in this second period on the forecheck, having that offensive zone time. And it's because they're going and putting 2 forecheckers on at least. They are actually adding the third if there's that loose puck, but at least 2. So Huskies have to go and make that adjustment. They're being outnumbered in their own zone. That can't happen if you're in your defensive zone and want to get the puck going, transitioning the other way.
Keeler's toss from the draw. And it's Peltier. The Gaels settle onto it now. Finds its way back to Keeler, who spins around the check of one and is able to get it to Kinneberg. Kinneberg returns the favor. That one a little too hot for Keeler, and it'll ramp up into the bench.
You know, both teams as well, they seem to really like to go cross ice, going east-west, not as much north-south. And depending on the team you're playing against, this can work in your favor. I do find that Queens, though, because they converge so tightly in the neutral zone as well as in the defensive zone, they pick up a lot of those cross-ice passes.
Liam Tanner wins the draw to Duffy. And off the stick of Zlamisek. Zlamisek, pardon me. Larmond over the line. That one too fine of an angle on it. As always, Katarine wide. Lalonde across to Duff. Off the skate of Cap, and it's locked in. Kinneberg. Berthollet. Through the legs, deflection negates the icing. Lalonde. Cap. Goes down quickly by Holt, who has 2 goals here, and most recent one to tie us up. Holt has Pillar with him. Holt trying to find the angle towards the net. Couldn't get past Peters. Cousins. Good 4th line shift here from the Gaels. Stebbins settling onto it, and here's Gavlis pinching from defense. A shot that challenged Purbu, didn't sneak through the 5-hole.
Well, Gavlis has been involved in pretty well everything so far this period. You got hits, Gavlis is there. You have shots, Gavlis is there. You have nice passes, Gavlis is there. He's just all over the ice. I'm actually really impressed with watching him as he took that wide angle shot. It was a good job by Perrick for the most part, keeping him to the outside, but still was able to get that shot off, so well done there.
Group of Huskies faithful just being shown on the Jumbotron, as we mentioned. Good crowd in attendance for this Friday night game. Ahead of exciting action throughout the weekend. Wong reverses, back to the point. Barros. Jordan returns it to Barros, who winds into that one. It's blocked by Duff. Barros, Jordan, Petruic couldn't get the shot off. Hamilton trying to find an option. Can't connect with Duff. Now Michaud giving a bump, but is able to find an option down low. Duff. Slap pass through the legs by Michaud. No one home. Barros. Backhand gets it down the ice. The arm's up for icing. It's rolling. It's rolling. A foot race negates the icing. A good hustle there by Jared Penner. Pardon me, that was Losquiavo. Hutchinson off the boards. His check is finished. Wasn't over the line, and that'll be icing with 10:35 to go.
Yeah,
in the second period.
Hutchison was absolutely a step or two before the red line there. I think he thought maybe he was over the red line, but not really by a long shot, honestly.
2-2 the score between the 2nd seed University of Saskatchewan Huskies and the 7th seed Queens Gaels. We've already seen one upset, as we've mentioned. Brianna, you and Tyler McDonald were on the call. The call that went around the world.
That was a wild day of hockey. That is pretty much the biggest understatement, but wild day of hockey. And we see the official and, well, the 2 linesmen actually having a conversation there with Duff as well as Penner. As, again, they've had a few conversations with those players that are lining up on the left wing area.
Duff never afraid to get involved in the physicality. He His shot set up the opening goal. Gaels in offside. That one tipped in by Penner. Lalonde will just fire it. It's hacked down, but falls kindly for a Gael. Head full of steam and blockered aside by Ross. Parrish coming as far as Prefontaine, who moves it forward and then dumped in by one of his teammates. Long change yet to really come into effect. Both teams have kept the bench relatively clean. Icing waved off on the deflection. Gavlis, who's been, as you say, Brianna, mighty impressive so far today, will start out to center. And Peltier not on the same page. Peltier across, and Keller can't get there. Cross. Berthollet will continue after being dispossessed. Berthollet trying to find an option. Prefontaine, a shot! Purbu fell. Back to his feet now as the Huskies still buzzing. Back to the point. Prefontaine. Shot, that one always going wide. Gavlis. An option down below, goes to Peltier. Gavlis, a shot through a crowd and frozen up by Purbu. You're watching U Sports Hockey here on CBC. We'll be back after this break as the Gaels lead Saskatchewan by a score of 2-2.
Oh. Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory. The lights are bright, the stakes higher. This isn't just a game, it's the moment. Hydrated, focused, ready to win. Powered by BioSteel. Welcome to Championship Weekend.
Welcome back in to the nation's capital on CBC. You're looking at Brandon Cote, his third season as the main head coach. He took over from Mike Babcock. It's the second most wins in Saskatchewan history. It's an excellent season. They come in as the top seed, their first time at the national championship since 2018-19. He was full of confidence pre-game, Brianna, when we went down to speak to him. His team currently tied 2-2, and here's Gavlis looking to change it out in front, and Purbu flashes the leather.
Yeah, really solid play there again by Gavlis, coming down along the boards, cutting in as he was afforded the ice and time to be able to do that, and Purbu coming in with a great paddle stop here, extending it, and then also gloving it afterwards. Good hand-eye coordination coming there from the Oakville native. Just a little shout out to my hometown too.
Two GTA natives in the box who have made their way north to the nation's capital, who have been treated to an excellent weekend of hockey so far. If you missed yesterday, GG's upset UNB, and then the game that is now the longest game in U Sports history. 5 periods of overtime as that's bounced on. Purbu thought about playing it and froze it up between TMU and MRU, who were beat by the Saskatchewan Huskies in the Canada West final in 3 games. It's been a very entertaining weekend of hockey. The game this morning ended 4-2 in regulation. Welcome respite for us up here in the booth.
You know, and as you mentioned, we spoke with head coach of the Huskies before the game just around what the keys to success would look like really for his team. And one thing that stood out to me, Declan, was that he mentioned the pace and needing to win races and get touches. And what I found is that in certain instances, they have won certain races. For the most part, Queens have really outraced them, won the puck battles, and outnumbered in the puck battles to come out victorious in those instances. So Huskies definitely have to go and turn that around.
And it's leading to the Gaels dominating much of the cycle play and much of the zone time. Hutchinson heads after that one. Prefontaine trying to find an option out in front. Couldn't do it. That one, a shot on it, hit the side of the net. Ross never saw it. Petruic all by himself and now joined by Wong and Losquiavo. Petruic through the leg, back to Wong, and denied by Purbua. Flash of skill. Shot on Rosswell, deflected into the corner, picked right back up. Michaud, time and space, good save by Ross, another one! All by himself in front, Michaud. And the top goaltender in Canada West comes up big, and it looks like we have a tripping penalty coming up.
Well, and you can hear some of the reactions from the crowd as it's going to be Derek Hamilton from the Gaels heading off for a tripping penalty. And really it was because he ended up actually losing his footing and took down a Huskies player at the end of the day. Unfortunate, but it is still a penalty as we see the two phenomenal stops made by Ross. And we're just going to take a look. Yeah, Hamilton tries to get a little bit too fancy and actually ends up taking down Josh Pillar there. So it's going to be the Huskies heading back to a power play. And tie game, just under 8 minutes left to go. If you're the Gaels, you got to stop giving this team power play opportunities because they just convert and convert.
That one sent the length of the ice. It's, as you mentioned, Brianna, you're playing with fire if you're giving the Huskies power play opportunities. 2 for 3 on the night, over 90%, or pardon me, over 30% on the face-off this season, 31.6% to be exact, and in the playoffs operating over 35%. Kozer, Petruic, Losquiavo. Petruic wanted it back. Losquiavo has Kozer and kept to the outside, looking for a shooting lane. Losquiavo blocked on its way through. Kozer not doubled back and then beat Liam Tanner to the puck. Over the line now and stopping up is Kozer. And Kozer turns it over and it sent the length of the ice.
Well, as you mentioned, that was good hustle there shown by Kozer in the play before, making sure he got back to recoup that puck and transition himself the other way with really great speed that he demonstrated, getting into the Gale zone and trying to set up shop.
Ross had to be sure of that. He had Hutchinson in behind him. He's able to bring it around, and now with 38 seconds to go, Kinneberg drops it. Berthollet ran into a wall on his way to the net, and that time easy enough for Purbu. We're going to take a look down at the Gaels head coach. Greg Gibson, a storied member in this program, talked with us before the game about his extreme sense of confidence.
Well, and again, I love that he said, I don't care which team we ended up getting. I love that confidence, playing with a chip on your shoulder, recognizing the players that you have on your team, even though none of them had had the experience of being here before you yourself as a coach had, and that's the experience he had been drawing on and instilling in his team to add to that confidence.
Poked on and frozen up by Purbu. Brett Gibson has been around the block for a while, a veteran of this league.
Well, and again, that's where that confidence comes from, right? He's been here before. He knows what it takes. And, yes, you want to have fun in this type of experience. But like you said, you stop wanting to just have fun and you just expect to come in and win. That is the expectation.
This is a team who's, you'd think has been there, done that. But the Gaels have been to the national championships 3 times, yet to win a gold medal. The best finish, a bronze. Kinneberg, they're looking to change that this year. Berthollet. Kinneberg, down low, Wong, back to Berthollet. Got to step out of the box. That one shot on Peltier, it's loose in the slot. Berthollet, and blocked on its way through by Duff! And a good push there by Purbu to to stop a rebound opportunity. Berthollet, shot on. It's loose in the slot. And it's in! Saskatchewan have their first lead in this game, and it comes just seconds after the power play.
And it ends up being Justin Ball who knocked that home, and it was really great puck recovery actually coming from Trevor Wong, and he's seen that throughout the entire game so far. So many shot attempts, Purbu getting over to the side, Wong recovers it very well, puts it back out in front to Berthollet, takes another shot. Again, Purbu actually thought he had it and didn't think anything of it. And meanwhile, it was sitting right there on the doorstep for Justin Ball to put in the back of the net. What I found interesting, though, 2 Queens Gaels players also just standing there looking, doing absolutely nothing, thinking that Purbu had it as well. And Purbu again, or sorry, not Purbu, excuse me, Justin Ball, the recipient of that loose puck, being able to knock it home. And like you mentioned, giving Saskatchewan their first lead of this game here.
Katzele in offside, and right you are, Brianna. Reward for a fourth-line player. Only 2 goals this season, but Justin Ball goes to the dirty areas and is rewarded. 5 minutes and 26 seconds to go in this period. Huskies have their first lead, and when this Huskies team leads, it's hard to knock them off their perch. Over the line to the back post. Purbu's bowled into by one of his players. The net comes off. And,
yeah, a little bit of a collision here coming between Lemieux and Purbu, and it was because Lemieux was tracking back to take his player. The Huskies driving towards the net, and again, Lemieux just ended up colliding with Purbu, but both Purbu and Lemieux look no worse for wear, which is always nice to see. Get a little bit nervy when the goalie gets bowled into like that, but again, they look okay, so very nice to see that. Just gonna make sure the net is on its moorings properly. Of Purbu supervising the work by the ice crew here, wants to make sure it's exactly the way he likes it. Goalies are very particular.
Good to see the goalie back up on his feet. We've seen a number of collisions with goaltenders. Frankie LaPena, scary collision in last night's game, and you know he's a huge key to success for the University of Ottawa. Purbu looks no worse for wear. Davlas holds it in. It's blockered by Michaud to start his team back the other way, and then Katzele cannot find his teammate. Dumped in by Wong. Lemieux reverse, and calm play by the Gaels. Just playing around the Huskies here, but they need to get back into the offensive zone. Burst of speed and dumped on. Ross freezes that one up. CBC is the home of university sports in Canada. The best youth sports men's volleyball teams battle for the 2025 Youth Sports Men's Volleyball Championship from Brandon University in Brandon, Manitoba. And what would you know, we have an upset brewing as number 8 Brandon is up by 2 sets. You can catch the action exclusively on CBC Gem, CBC.ca, CBC Sports at YouTube, CBC's on CBC. Chase the glory. That one, the net off again as the Huskies went back the other way.
That was a really nice
face-off will come out to center.
Sorry, that was a really nice defensive play, though. Again, it was Lemieux streaking back, and it was to disallow that pass going backdoor in what would have been most likely an open net there for Liam Keeler. So that was a huge defensive play there coming from Lemieux.
An important one. Huskies very, very good, and we'll take another look at that. It's a great play by.
And not Lemieux, sorry, Perrick, the force. Perrick, beautiful defensive play there.
Came back and made the disruption. Here's Peltier again, poked off his stick. Collected by Tolnay, and now forward, over the line, all by himself, a blocker save, and it didn't fall kindly for Nolan Hutchinson. It was Marburg who had burst down and had that golden opportunity for the Gaels. Berthollet trying to put the moves on all by himself. Drop pass, couldn't find Keeler.
was a nice drop pass, though, to Marburg on Queens.
Tolnay over the line will dump it in, and Ross keeps it alive. Berthollet pinned to the boards. Comes out to Pillar, who returns the favor. Berthollet, the end of a long shift, will dump it in, peel off for a change. Lalonde looking to get his team going in the right direction. Takes a deflection off a Husky and settled by Ross. Barros cross ice. Holt, 2 goals in this one. Sent to the opposite corner, no one there, and Ethan Larmond is drilled by Pillar. Holt off a shin pad picked up. And poked forwards there by Liam Tanner. It's a whole first-year line for the Gaels, one of 8 rookies for Queen's University, a very young program. Been mighty impressive here, hanging with number 2 Saskatchewan. Pierrefontaine, a little too much on it for Pillar, and Tanner can't connect with his man. Lalonde at the end of a very long shift will dump that one, and Pierrefontaine trying to go quickly almost turns it over. Puts himself in a little bit of danger. Larmond can't connect, and here's Wong. Trevor Wong, supported by Gavlis, rings it around the boards, and Los Chiava will drill Peters. Pardon me, that was Lemieux. Wong touches it back down low. It's out to center now. Fontaine, good head fake to buy an inch of space, and then his pass was just a hair away. Los Chiavos pulled down, no arm coming. The Huskies faithful wanted one. Katzele will dump it down. Peek over his shoulder by Kozer. He's able to get it to Wong. For Wong's pass disrupted by Fowler. Michaud from his knees is able to only poke it forward, but the Gaels will be forced to regroup. Landon Kozer settling things down. 1:22 to go here in the second period. Kinneberg, they'll say, got a deflection on its way, negating the icing. Parrish can't corral it. Centering pass, didn't find anyone. Fowler spinning. Nice pass to Tolnay. Tolnay stopped up to avoid a check. Into the final minute here. Fowler tries to poke it forward. Can't find Hutchinson. Tolnay. Fowler's without a stick. Tolnay will just reverse it. 45 to go. Parrish and Penner will head after it. Jarrett Penner has an option in front, and great defensive play by Lalonde.
Yeah, really smart play by Lalonde. They're recognizing that there was a Huskies player right out in front of the net, and Justin Ball, and elected to stay in the middle instead of chasing the puck. So crucial defensive play there.
It's almost like his dispossessed, and then a big check by the Gaels. Lalonde is pinned to the boards, and with 20 seconds, the puck doesn't have the legs for icing. Duff will take his time with this. Lalonde off a body, the seconds dying away. Duff has a check thrown his way, but that'll do it for the second period. After 2, the score is 3 for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, 2 for the Queens Gaels. Goals at both ends. You're watching U Sports on CBC. Brianna, it's been back and forth action here, but the Huskies take the lead on the power play.
And again, the hits continue, so the physicality theme continued throughout that second period. We saw goals on both sides, but Saskatchewan, I found, really finding their footing and coming out on top so far after this second period. And again, I think really the adjustment they had made for part of that second period, where they were having success and having offensive zone time for a sustained amount of time, was when they had more than one forechecker in the zone, where they had that support to outman, outnumber. And in contrast, Queens needed to do a little bit better of their forecheck. For about half of it, they were okay. They were like the first, and then otherwise they kind of let up a little bit. Long change maybe playing a role there.
Saskatchewan leads Queens by a score of 3-2. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory. The lights are bright, the stakes higher. This isn't just a game, it's the moment. Hydrated, focused, ready to win. Powered by BioSteel. Welcome to Championship Weekend.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC and our coverage of the 2025 University Cup. It's currently 3-2 in favor of the University of Saskatchewan. And it's time for our U Sports Championship Spotlight, brought to you by PepsiCo Foods. Brianna, who are we featuring here in the second period?
So for this U Sports Champion Spotlight brought to you by PepsiCo Foods, Declan, we sit down with Jeff Speedy, the athletics director at UNB, to get some insights into the behind the scenes of running the program there.
My name is Jeff Speedy. I'm the Director of Athletics here at the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I'm in year 2 of being the Director of Athletics here after a 30-plus year U Sports coaching career. Shoot for the Cure started from a meeting room with all the women's basketball coaches from U Sports. Way back in 2007, the women's basketball coach from Bishop's University, Rod Gilpin, indicated that they were starting to have a fundraiser game for an alumni of his program who was battling breast cancer. So he brought up that they were having that Think Pink game, like was happening all through NCAA, a bunch of different initiatives down there that were similar. He shouted out, well, why don't we do something together like they do in the US instead of 4 or 5 of us doing something on our own? And that's really how the idea started. I was about to become the president of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, I think, the year after that. So I kind of took the bull by the horns from Rob's idea, and a few of us kind of got on board and started the national initiative. And I think, for the first couple of years, we had 8, 10, 12 schools getting involved. That was about it. But as time moved on and as everybody kind of got involved and got engaged, it peaked 10, 12 years later with every single women's basketball program in U Sports being involved. So, it really grew into something special, and, we certainly didn't envision that from that meeting the very first day. When I was a women's basketball coach for all those years, I felt it was my responsibility to help the student athletes on the team that I coached become better students, better basketball players, and better people. Getting them involved in the community and showing them the importance of being involved in the community is one of the easiest ways to do that. You know, at UNB, our teams are very involved in the community, not just the women's basketball team that I used to coach and our current coach, Aaron McAleenan, is doing a great job with, but a lot of our teams are very engaged and involved in the community. It's been very rewarding for me to see that kind of growth and our student athletes realize the difference they can make in the community and the importance of giving back to the community. And if it makes them, a slightly better person because they're of a giving mindset and it's something that they take with them as an adult and do for the rest of their lives, then, that's another reason why Shoot for the Cure is important and can do more than just raising funds and raising awareness to help beat cancer.
At the University of Ottawa, we're open to people and cultures, to diversity, to open fields where minds run free, to possibility and discovery. We're open to changing times that force us to grow, and bold ideas that shape the status quo. We're open to balanced lives and spirits that thrive. But most of all, we're open to you.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Oh, aussi bon que Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, Les Bagues Baron Rings, Apar, and by BioSteel.
Welcome back inside TD Place, where we have been treated to another fantastic crop of rookies here in U Sports all across the nation. And now we'll take a look at those who were honored at our award ceremony the other night.
The nominees for the Claire Drake Award presented to the U Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year are, en nomination pour le prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport 2025, des sports universitaires de l'Atlantique, from the AUS, Nathan Darvaux, Université de Moncton, du sport universitaire de l'Ontario, from the OUA, Gio Morneau, Université Carleton University, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, from Canada West, Sean Chagall, University of Alberta, Université de l'Alberta. Le lauréat du prix Claire Drake présenté à la recrue de l'année en hockey masculin U-Sport est, the winner of the Claire Drake Award as U-Sports Men's Hockey Rookie of the Year is Sean Chagall, University of Alberta, Université de l'Alberta.
A huge congratulations to Sean Chagrill of Alberta. And now we'll just take a look at the Marriott highlights from an eventful period here at TD Place. That one, beautiful pass across. It was dominated by the Huskies in a large part. They score twice on the power play to lead this one 3-2. And Purbu was a big part of that. It's the forecheck and the tenaciousness of the Huskies, which lead to their opportunities. But that's not to say that the Gaels were not in it at all and had a golden opportunity there. Here's some big checks, and we'll take a look at the stats now through two periods. And as we mentioned, 3-2, it's Saskatchewan lead through in shots, 23-18, and a big part of the reason why it's 3-2 is Christian Purbu, Brianna.
We're going to take a look at some of the stats in terms of the goaltenders that we've been treated to during this matchup. So we have Roddy Ross, still love that name, and Christian Purbu, hometown Oakville native there. And you can see that Purbu's had 20 games played, 15 wins of those games, 2.25, 0.927, and then a 1.99, 0.928 on the other side of Ross. And you're going to take a look at the stops that Purbu has made. He's been active in that blue paint here this evening, and some absolutely stupendous stops on great opportunities by the Huskies. Great poke checks as well, getting his stick and paddle out extended, recognizing the play, and some nice glove stops where he looked very calm and collected and not allowing an inch as he gets his paddle out multiple times, disallowing pucks across and then calmly trapping it down. So he's been very active, main reason for why the score is still so close between his team and the Huskies.
3-2, only one goal that separates these two programs. We've been treated to tons of action here and upsets galore, both in the men's bracket and in the women's bracket, not to mention. And the Gaels looking to prove upsets once again.
You know, we talked about the stops that Purbu has made here for his team, the Queens Gaels, and goaltenders have been a big differentiating factor. And I'm gonna go back just to last night, which feels like, honestly, maybe even 2 hours ago with how much hockey we saw yesterday. But LaPena, another goaltender who came up huge for his team, the Ottawa GGs, a big differentiating factor in that outcome as well. Again, goaltending usually ends up being a big role in games. They are usually the position, quite honestly, in my opinion, that makes or breaks the game. If you have a good goaltender between the pipes that can steal you some stops, they could end up stealing you a game.
Purbu will be testing. He'll have to come up strong again. If you're the Gaels, you can't take another penalty in this one. We've been so good, has the nation's best power play. Gaels penalty kill has struggled to stand up to it. But we're just moments away here from puck drop here in the third period. A quick peek to tomorrow. The TMU Bold will face off against the University of Ottawa GGs. The Bold looking to replenish themselves after a lengthy game, and the winner of this one will take on the winner of the game earlier today, being the Concordia Stingers. As we mentioned, Saskatchewan playing for the rest of Canada here today to prevent a clean OUA sweep. These await the Bold. Concordia await the winner here, and is there a late twist in the tail?
Well, you know, you still got 20 minutes left of hockey, and as we've seen throughout the multitude of periods we've experienced so far, really anything can happen if you remain resilient, you remain hungry, and you remain determined in buying into your game plan.
We're underway here as Lalonde starts through center, finds a man in the high slot, and then dispossessed. Here's Duff down low. Duff continued on his way. Spinning, firing, that one went just wide. Sam Marburg. Here comes Saskatchewan as that puck sent cross ice, and Kozer will try and play it forward to Penner, who's been everywhere here tonight, leading the forecheck for Saskatchewan. Kicked into the center of the ice. Larmond and himself in a cul-de-sac and dispossessed. Good patience shown by Perrick. As it's dumped to the opposite corner, realizing that a man was in offside. Back to the point. Deflected on its way through. Ross kicks it out and spills it. Now picked up. Turner spinning and firing just wide. Back to center now and sent right back where it came from. Ross settles it down behind his own net. And Tanner Open scoring here tonight. First year, big goal for him. Wong looking to play favorite, and that awkward collision as he catarammed into the boards. Back up to his feet, no worse for wear. Katsale can't get past, and the Gaels were changing. Over the line, a drop pass, and that one too easy for Purbu.
Yeah, easy stop for Purbu, fortunately for the Gaels, but that was a rough change there that the Gaels had initiated, and I think the D just assumed that Katsale was over the line, was going to dump it in, but it was a good step up there by the Huskies. As you see, Wong coming up the ice, coming around, and it was Perrick who got his hands actually extended on a bit of a cross check, and that's where some of the reactions were coming from the crowd wanting a penalty, as the, again, stick and hands definitely extended, but the arms absolutely stayed down. No penalty coming there.
Hefty bounce off the board, set up in front. No Husky could take advantage, and now back to start is Ian Lemieux. Trying to reverse it, and a nifty little move through center comes Derek Hamilton. Chips it past one, Cole Jordan the first one there. Hamilton will watch him the whole way before he reverses onto Barros. Hamilton through the legs, nifty pass to Katsale. Katsale as we showed with it. Katsale dragged down, and that'll be a penalty. Goaltender out. That one shot on, still loose out in front and touched by Jordan. Holding the call, and the Gaels will go to their second power play of the night. They were perfect on the first one.
And again, that's going to be a penalty every time. It's so blatantly obvious that the Gaels were hauled down, and it's going to be Cole Jordan that heads to the box for this infraction to serve for the 2 minutes or less, sending the Gaels again on this power play opportunity.
He just reached his hand around, and
exactly.
You can't do it.
It was like a full-on bear hug, honestly, on Katsale. It was first the right arm, and then he thought, you know what, I'm just going to give you a full-on hug. Why not? I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to just haul you down and get a penalty for it. But again, that's partly because Katsale, he's speedy. He had a good step there on Jordan, and as a defense, you're trying to move down and get a hold. And we're just going to take a look here at trying to settle the ice in the crease for Roddy Ross. The officials are working hard on this. Not sure if there was a divot or what, but
it's a warm day in the nation's capital, and that one repaired quickly. We had an extended delay in the first game of this tournament to go on with the extended overtime periods.
I was going to say, after an experience like that, I feel like we're all very well equipped to fix the ice for minor divots like that.
Lalonde down low. That one out front, and Hutchinson didn't get all of it. The puck stayed in play. Tolnay back to the point. Katsale has Lalonde. Holt had watched the pass across. Tolnay trying to find an option. Two bodies out in front. Hutchinson had bounced up to the bumper, off to Lalonde. Cross to Katsale. Katsale, a tight angle shot. Equal to it was Ross. Lalonde holds the line. Down low. Tolnay to Lalonde at the top. That one shot through a crowd, and an easy glove save there by Ross, which he puts a little flair on.
That was a nice stop there, being able to track the puck through some bodies that were out in front. Some good puck movement coming from the Gaels. Katzley trying to go that short side, but got it too far over and hit the logo. And then that last opportunity, Lalonde at the point, just getting it through. And as you mentioned, even though there was a big body there in front of Roddy Ross, he was able to make that stop clean. I just love saying his name, Roddy Ross. What a great name, just rolls off. So great.
Gaels looking for their second power play goal of the night. It would be the game's fourth if they were to score. 4 of 3 of the 5 goals so far coming on the man advantage. Cleared out a good clear to kill some time by the Huskies.
Well, and that's what the Huskies need to be doing, right? They need to go and win those puck battles. And if you're the Gaels, you're on a power play, you need to make sure you recover that puck. You can't allow the team that has a man short to go and recover it better than you do.
Run around by Liam Tanner, who got the scoring opened on the power play. Hutchinson gonna keep going. He's hauled down. Tanner down in the low areas, can't jam it past Ross. It's recycled to Lalonde. Shot on, Ross equal to it, spills it, and it ends up in the corner. Hutchinson elected to wait up behind the net. Lalonde was creeping down, and that pass took him backwards. Lalonde through a crowd, kicked aside to the corner. Hamilton around, 5 seconds to go. Cross ice, didn't get through to Hamilton. Lalonde back to even strength. Gaels still looking for an equalizer. And fell kindly for Ross, who pounces on it, and we'll have a whistle off, a face-off off to his left.
Well, and I don't think it really took much for Ross to go and make that stop. He did a good job hugging his post and staying tall, making sure that there really wasn't that much net to shoot at. A couple of scrums out in front that the Gaels had an opportunity on. They had some good looks, just not able to put the puck in the back of the net. I think a large part of that too is that you had a big body like Hutchison in front of the net, but I don't think he was matching up, looking to see where Ross was and making sure that he was actually right in front, taking away his eyes.
Gaels can't collect a bobbling puck. There's Liam Keller, and a big hit crunching against the boards.
Was really well timed there by Perrick. Nice hit.
Fowler looking cross ice, never found its intended target. Peltier can't clear the zone. Second poke does, and it's settled down by Peters. Davlis chipped it forward. 2 Huskies waiting in the area, but not enough on it. Wong absorbs the check and over the line. Great strength shown by a relatively smaller man for the Huskies. That one a clapper that was always going high.
Lower center of gravity. I understand.
Brianna played 2 years with the University of Ottawa GGs in 2017, 2018. 2016, pardon me, from 2016 to 2018. Here's Wong. Wong a shot and blockered aside by Purbu. Never got the chance to play at the national championships.
Had to put that one in there, eh?
Yeah, he did.
It's a sore spot.
Cap. 4th line shift here for the Gaels, turns it over. Petruic leaves it for Jordan. Peters had braced against the boards, realized no one was in the area. and tried to play it out. Now turned back over Pillar. Walking out in front, blood shouldered aside by Purbu. Huskies hunting in packs now. Pillar peels off. There was a lot of work in their practice before the game for the Huskies, as that's one's up into the netting on trying to find exactly what these boards would do. It's a little bit of an odd arena, and we've seen them come into play earlier on today.
Well, and so many of the panels have different reactions. You'll have one panel there in the corner that'll be lively, and the panel next to it or on either side of it will be completely dead. So at the end of the day, yes, you can try to identify patterns and trying the different panels, but realistically, it's similar to even what we had yesterday when there was a large divot in the TMU zone. It's how do you change your approach? Do you change your approach? To me, as an athlete, as a player, you just keep going with the same game plan that you've had. You're aware of it, so you're aware of the boards, you're aware that they're gonna have weird bounces, but you still have to go and continue and play your game.
Shots lopsided in favor of Queens in this one. 34-19 on the scoreboard as Katsley forward to Hamilton, can corral it in. Kinneberg sends it down to the opposite corner.
Well, and it makes sense, though, that Queens has absolutely peppered Roddy Ross with shots. They've had more sustained zone time, I would say, compared to the Huskies throughout the game. Huskies picking up a little bit in the second and now in the third, but overall, Queens for sure has had more sustained offensive zone pressure.
General score effects coming into it as well, as that's over the line, and Mishota shot it, sat up kindly in the slot, across to collect. And now starting back to forward, but Duff there to make a vital interception. Michaud, middle outside of his, he'll curl in. Good patience shown by Tolnay. Dumped it in. Prefontaine. Fowler looking for an option, a shot. The stick flew out of his hand, and it's rung around and behind Tolnay.
Oh, and Hutchison had an absolutely wide open net and put it side. Oh my goodness.
Looking forward to seeing another replay of that one. Oh, it was so close. Purbu, reminder of the score, 3-2, one and done. No consolation bracket in this one. It's not what you want to go out on. Tolnay, reverse. Fowler. And Fowler, two Huskies needed to dispossess him. Held in, shot on, blocked. And Penner's still on it. Good work by Penner, and then just off his stick. It's a good poke check by Ian Lemieux.
Yeah, good stick check there by Lemieux. It was a good previous play by Renwick in the offensive zone, rushing over the side to keep that attempted clear in, as well as an attempted shot on net. Good job, Renwick.
11:45 to go. The Gaels regrouping behind their net. Renwick, cross size, a risky pass. Ross settles it down. He's been fond of playing it, and now he's caught down, still scrambling, and couldn't get a shot off was Tanner. Frantic moments and not what you want to see if you're Brendan Cote on the Huskies bench in a game that means so much. Peltier across and behind. It finds its way back into the corner far for Barthollet. Behind Alarmond. And sent back down. Another change coming for the Huskies. Schiavo in on the forecheck. Oh, nifty little move by Derek Hamilton. A flash of flair.
He's had a couple of those instances throughout this game.
Hamilton back on it now. Can't shift past Jordan. Wong. Wong trying to put the hoops on. Knocked out of midair with a high stick though. So Duff waits up and then touches. Lalonde has some time to breathe at the halfway point of the third period.
And just a note as well that Michaud for the Gaels had come over to the bench laboring a bit, looking as if he got a stick up high, just getting some attention from the athletic therapist. Hopefully everything's okay, but just wanted to note that there.
Kinneberg, who's centering, will dump that one in a kind bounce for Lalonde. and all kinds of trouble. A tight angle shot that's saved by Purbu. Stebbings on the doorstep. Finds its way back to Stebbings. Holt on a hat trick. Bounced, and Lalonde will take the puck and then the body. The Gaels emerge victorious with it. Katzele. Over the line, has a man at the back post. Elects a tight angle shot. And Hutchinson spinning and now out with the Gaels. Katzele, nice shot and a great save by Ross. The rebound cleared up by Kinneberg.
It was a huge stop there. It was a nice look by Tolne to find his teammate in the slot there for that one-timer opportunity where Ross came up huge.
Kinneberg. Tolne has grown into this game. He had a quiet first period, but really one of the standout players in the second, especially on the power play.
Well, and again, everyone deals with the pressure of playing on this stage a little bit differently.
Penner had his stick lifted at the last moment. He's still on it. Jarrett Penner. And then dispossessed. Ball couldn't get it. Held in by Prefontaine. Ball wraps around looking for an option. Vital stick by Liam Tanner. Tanner still on it. Stops up looking for reinforcements. Cross ice, and that one behind Hamilton. Ball. Penner, who will shoot that one in. It dies behind the net, and Peters picks it up. Jordan off to collect a loose puck in the corner. Goes down quickly by Fowler, who's knocked to the ice. Michaud back to Fowler. Fowler looking in front. Hamilton never made it to him. Peltier. If the moves create a little bit of space and too much on it. The cycle play, Berthollet through the center of the ice. He's got a man with him. Peltier, and too far out in front. Berthollet cannot connect again with Keller. It's lofted out to center. Michaud leads the forecheck, calmly dealt with and dumped in by Koser. Both teams complete a change. Duff. Track Duff through center. Acrobatic play there by Wong to get his team started the other way. Futrick. Vital stick by Lalonde, who's been so good. Wong can't connect with Loschiavo. Now Loschiavo. Dispossessed the last moment. Shot back in, and Tolne will send it to an area, and Lalonde settles it down. Tolne head up a shift to get past the check and over the line. Centering pass. And then lofted back out by the Huskies. Holt has been a firecracker in this game. 2 goals already. Stebbings, a shot, it deflected wide. Chalked out. Liam Tanner will head after it and calmly played. Stebbings. Sent to an area. 6:13 to go. The Gaels playing against the clock as much as they are the Huskies. And Stebbings there in offside. It is currently 3 for Saskatchewan, 2 for the Gaels. We'll be back in a minute and 30 seconds with more action here on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back inside TD Place in the nation's capital, and you're looking at Roddy Ross, who's been excellent here, has stopped 38 shots. He's one of 3 All-Stars for the Huskies. Chance Petruik and Landon Cozier, the other 2. It's been a fantastic season, as we mentioned, the 2nd most wins for all in Huskies history, and it's all been led by Ross.
And again, those 3 have absolutely been playing well and deserve those accolades. But you know who I'm really impressed with here is Holt.
2 goals for Holt.
But even taking away the goals here, it's just the involvement that he's had in this game. He's all over the ice. I mean, the goals come as a result of the activities you do during the game, which is why Holt has been rewarded. But it's the work ethic, it's the plays, it's the hockey IQ that he's shown that have truly been impressive, in my opinion.
Starts at the back end. Taking a look at the replay, Roddy Ross, a big part of this one. 36 saves. 2 or 3 of them absolute 10-bellers. That one's in offside by the Huskies. I think a stop-start game favors them, Brianna.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it doesn't give any opportunity to Queens to get their transition game going, to get in on the forecheck that they've been doing throughout this entire game. But one adjustment I noticed a little bit from the Huskies is in their zone. They tended to take a page out of the Queens book and ended up converging a little bit, providing a little bit more support so that they could break out cleaner and shut down any type of cycle opportunity for the Gaels.
Justin Ball sends it down deep, looking to get that Husky cycle going. It's won back by Duff and across to Lalonde. Jordan. Keller. It's dispossessed and it's down, rung around. Lalonde had thought about peeling off for a change and stayed on. Berthollet chips it forward to center. Duff. Leaves it for Parrott.
Oh, nifty moves there by Parrott. Okay.
Brings it around the boards. Fowler trying to fight Peltier there. Peltier wins out, and here's Keller. Keller puts the brakes on and helped on its way by Peltier. It's punched down with a hand pass by Michael Renwick, and with that, we'll get into the Gaels All-Stars. It's been frantic back and forth. We'll have a face-off at center. Here's Queens All-Stars. Christian Purbu has not been busy, but good when called upon. Nolan Hutchinson, 1 goal already, and Olin Lalonde, who we've talked about already, mightily involved in this one.
Super involved, and honestly, I just love the mobility on the blue line. And for someone who quarterbacks the power play as he does for the Gaels, that's an absolute must characteristic when you're looking at someone to put on the point there, to dish one way or the other, or to take shots from the point to generate opportunities.
Turned over by the Gaels, still looking for 1 goal. Didn't connect and fought off by Kozer. Wong back to collect, puts the brakes on. Kozer is able to get it out in a 2-on-1. Petruik crossing. Loskiavo, it never made its way to him. Great defensive play by the Gaels.
And again, that was none other than Perrick. He's had a number of opportunities exactly like that. Well, not the turnover, but the back check part where he made a difference.
Pillar trips over the blue line, and that gave just enough time for Renwick to bite back. Prefontaine, cross ice. And run around. Prefontaine back on it now. He's beat to the puck there. And Duff, long shot to a crowd. It's loose out in front. And Larmond couldn't connect. Stebbings back for the Huskies, quickly dispossessed by Tanner. 3:08 to go, and at this point we're wondering when Purbu will be headed out of the net. Marburg muscled aside. still is somehow able to get it to Larmond. Lalonde through a crowd, hit a body, ended up in the corner. Larmond. Colzer out-muscled and will tackle his man. At this point, it'll take something glaring to draw the ire of the officials.
Well, and you can hear some of the reactions to that takedown. Queens really wanting a call, but again, not getting one.
Gavlis had stepped up and will force the Gaels to reset. 2:22 to go.
And you imagine if Queens is able to get in and maintain puck possession, which they do not as they turn it over, we would see Christian Purbu coming out of his net, but he's still in there.
High sticked. And the face-off.
So it's going to come right outside the Queens zone, it's not exactly what Queens wants. As we're going to take a look at that takedown, it was a little bit of a hold on both players, honestly, so imagine that's why the officials' arms stayed down. To your point, it's going to have to take something pretty blatant for it to be called at this point in the game.
Especially with the way that special teams have affected this. 1 goal for the Gaels on the power play. That thanks to Liam Tanner. It opened the scoring here tonight. 2 so far for the Huskies. Gaels trapped in their own end. Renwick will reverse to Perrick. And too much on it for Tolnay. And Penner, who's been a problem all night for the Gaels, will pin it up. That one had it done a couple of times, and everybody's playing bumper puck. Finally comes the way of Hutchinson, who's beat to it. Gavlis and Katsley hand pass.
It looked almost like it was going to be a little bit offside too, but the call does end up being a hand pass. And again, anxiously waiting to see what is happening with Purbu between the pipes there for Queens. You imagine that with 1 minute and 32 seconds left to go, Queens really has to get into the Husky zone quick, set up shop, maintain that puck possession without turning it over. Enough time to have Christian Purbu to be called over to the bench, and we see that head coach for Queens just waving to Purbu a little bit, saying, hey, get ready to come, keep an eye on me. So you see Purbu just at the hash marks almost in the Queens zone, getting ready to go.
Rick Gibson relatively aggressive with his empty net pulls, and there goes Purbu as that shot on by Ross. The whistle takes its time, but it'll come to the left of Ross.
And this is exactly what Queens wanted. It was Lalonde who made that good play by shooting it directly on net on Roddy Ross, and the really good forecheck done by Queens. And we're gonna see a timeout taken here. Again, smart play. You have 1 minute and 30 left to go. You need to draw up something here as you have an offensive zone face-off opportunity.
And both teams have played tight. It's been an excellent tournament so far, one full of upsets, as we've come to expect in U Sports.
You have both head coaches out there with the drawing boards, teams huddled around their respective coaches to see what play is going to be drawn up. Again, 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. Offensive zone draw, which will be to the left of Roddy Ross. So Queens, key, you got to win that draw. You got to keep that in the Huskies zone. And for the Huskies, you have to win that draw as well, but you don't want to go ahead and ice it down and have it come all the way back down to do it all over again. So it's a fine kind of balance if you're on the defensive zone face-off for this one.
Roddy Ross, 37 saves. Does he have a couple more in him?
I think for the Huskies, he's going to have to.
Canada West goaltender of the year.
Well, he's come up big. He's made some absolutely phenomenal stops.
Lalonde. Cross ice, Clapper crowd in front. Blocked on its way through, glove down, and then sent the length of the ice. The angle's not right for icing, and a good hustle there by Renwick. And we'll do it all over again. A minute 12 to go.
And I think what Huskies were trying to do is Holt is speedy. So they were looking to try to ice it down, but have Holt beat it out. Unfortunately for Holt, Renwick was a step quicker than him. We'll do it all over again here. Puck recovery, a huge key point, especially for the Gaels here. If they go ahead and lose puck possession, they have one more player out there. They have to go and recover that puck.
pinned up against the boards, exactly where the Huskies want it to be as we enter the final minute of play here. Rung around the boards. Renwick, first one there. Helps it on to Lalonde. Good hustle. Holds the line. Holds can't clear it. Good baseball swing. And Stebbings now, the net empty. Is only able to direct it. That deflected on its way though, so that'll negate the icing. Lalonde, 45 to go.
As you mentioned, Queens really playing against the clock here.
Katzeley over the line. Liam Tanner trusted in big minutes here. He scored the opener. Katzeley muscled off. 25 to go. Lalonde shot quickly. Loose out in front. A scramble. And Ross falls on it. The puck ended up in the net. The Gaels will celebrate, but the officials blew the whistle first and will wave it off.
And you can see the official was in good position there. Right away, immediately waved it off. There was never a goal sign at all. So that call, I imagine, will absolutely stand. We'll have another face-off here.
One the Gaels need to win. They've been the better team on the dot. And we'll just have a look. The referees blew the whistle first, and it looked like the puck was punched into the net.
I mean, honestly, we can't even see the puck during that dog pile replay, but so many bodies flying everywhere and just absolute desperation on both teams' parts, but for different reasons. And you see the discussion happening between Hutchison and the official.
Brendan Cote complaining. I think he wants a power play.
Not going to get that
Ross
there,
was on
but
top of it, and Katzeley came in with the late shot.
Yeah, it was like a torpedo. Katzeley came in with his stick outstretched to see if he could just squeak that by. And 19.2 seconds left here. Katzeley, big draw for the Gaels.
Has to win it. 19 seconds to go.
Going in against Keeler.
It's won by the Gaels. Lalonde can't hold it. Cleared out, and that one will end up in the back of the net, and that'll do it. Ethan Renier, 2 goals from the fourth line tonight for the University of Saskatchewan as they advance out of the quarterfinals.
And it was a nice hustle there by Renwick trying to make his way back, but some absolute wheels on Renier and that extra effort as well. Diving and just able to scoop the puck with his outstretched stick to direct it calmly into the net.
Officials just going to have a word with both players, but Brianna, it's not a clean sweep of the OUA. There's one remaining team that doesn't represent Ontario, might come to represent the rest of the country, Saskatchewan Pride. As we're just settling things down here, 5 players apiece for the last 10 seconds.
Wow, and what a foot race that one was. Again, desperation for Queens, but Saskatchewan Huskies able to hang on. What an absolutely wild game this one was, and denying an all OUA semi-final and then final.
The Huskies win it by a score of 4-2. They'll be back in action against the Concordia Stingers in the semifinals as they look to get back to the national championships. Brianna, some closing thoughts before we wrap this one up.
You know, I really thought that the Queens Gaels came out stronger than the Saskatchewan Huskies, but Saskatchewan Huskies staying strong, staying resilient, sticking to the game plan from head coach Cote and making sure that they kept the pace. They won the races and got the touches, and that minor adjustment they had made in their zone really paying dividends for them as they came out on top to be victorious in this game.
The game defined by special teams. 3 of the 6 goals come on the special teams, and you can see what this means for the Queens Gaels. You imagine it won't be long until they're back. Both teams will shake hands, and the story continues for the Huskies in a historic season. 2nd most wins all time for the Gaels. They'll recollect, but it's a young program 8 first-year players on this Queens team.
And as disappointing as for Queens, it is a learning experience. As we spoke with the head coach earlier before the game, mentioning that none of the players had ever gotten here before. So now they have this experience to draw on. They're hungry as a result of this, and I'm sure next season they will come back and remember this feeling and shoot towards it again.
Standout player in this one, Roddy Ross. Question is if he would start today. Comes into this one, makes 38 saves in a 4-2 win.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal performance between the pipes there, and then on the offensive end of things for the Huskies, Dawson Holt, just, I think we mentioned him as a firecracker, such speed, good mobility, nice hockey intelligence, and again, a really good work ethic and grit coming from that player.
Two coaches shake hands just out of frame. It's 3 unanswered for the Huskies as we turn things over to our PA announcers for the players of the game.
Veuillez accueillir Linda Melnick, directrice exécutive sport et activités récréatives de Queens. Please welcome Linda Melnick, Executive Director, Athletics and Recreation at Queen's University. The Queens player of the game with 1 goal tonight, number 19, Nolan Hutchison. Congratulations. Now please welcome Saskatchewan University's Chief Athletics Officer, Chef des Activités Sportives, Shannon Chin, for the Huskies Player of the Game. With 2 goals tonight, number 16, Dawson Holt. Congratulations again to our Nike team players of the game. Fans, thank you for joining us for our 4th and final quarterfinal game for this 2025 BioSteel University.
A huge game for the 4th year Dawson Holt from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. 2 goals, including 1 on the power play to open things up. Brianna, let's break this one down. A difficult loss for the Gaels, but going forward, a tough test tomorrow for the Huskies against the Concordia Stingers.
Oh, it'll be a tough matchup for sure between the Huskies and Concordia Stingers, but again, I imagine it's going to be another physical game. You have big bodies on both sides. We mentioned how Concordia had played physical in the game before to make it to the semifinals tomorrow, now ending up against Saskatchewan. So I imagine that to be a really, really good competition between the two special teams again to play the same role. And again, really looking forward to seeing that matchup between the Huskies and the Stingers.
That game will go tomorrow at 1 p.m. On behalf of Declan DeBarp and Brianna Newell and our entire U Sports on CBC crew, thank you for joining us, and good night for now from Ottawa.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, les Bag Baron Rings, A-Par, and by BioSteel.